HMS Iron Duke was a British dreadnought battleship of the Royal Navy, launched from Portsmouth Dockyard on October 12, 1912 and commissioned on March 10, 1914 as the lead ship of the Iron Duke class, which also included HMS Marlborough, HMS Benbow, and HMS Emperor of India. She was named after Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of Wellington, who was famously called the Iron Duke. Designed as an improvement over the preceding King George V class, Iron Duke displaced around 29,500 tons at deep load and measured 622 feet, 189.6 meters, long overall. She was armed with 10 13.5-inch, 343 mm, Mark V guns arranged in 5 twin turrets, 2 super-firing fore and aft and 1 amidships, allowing her to deliver a broadside of enormous power. For protection against smaller vessels, she carried 12 6-inch, 152 mm, guns mounted in casemates along the sides, as well as 2 3-inch, 76 mm, anti-aircraft guns, 4 3-pounder guns, and 4 21-inch submerged torpedo tubes. Her armor belt was up to 12 inches, 305 mm, thick amidships, and she had an armored deck and heavy turret protection, reflecting the lessons of earlier naval engagements. Propelled by 4 Parsons steam turbines delivering 29,000 shaft horsepower, she reached speeds of over 21 knots, which enabled her to keep pace with the Grand Fleet's main battle line. When the First World War broke out, Iron Duke was assigned as flagship of Admiral Sir John Jellicoe, Commander-in-Chief of the Grand Fleet, and based at Scapa Flow in the Orkney Islands. She participated in numerous sorties into the North Sea to challenge the German High Seas Fleet, but her most famous action came during the Battle of Jutland on 31 May 1 June 1916, where she engaged German battleships and battlecruisers at relatively close range. During the battle, Iron Duke fired 90 salvos, 282 heavy shells, and is credited with scoring several hits on the German battleship HMS Koenig, causing serious damage to her superstructure and secondary armament. Despite the intensity of the battle, Iron Duke herself suffered no significant damage. After the war, she became flagship of the Mediterranean Fleet, and between 1926 and 1929 she underwent a refit that added new rangefinders, fire control equipment, and enhanced anti-aircraft defenses to keep her up to date with evolving threats. However, under the limitations imposed by the London Naval Treaty of 1930, she was partially disarmed and disqualified from frontline service, having her main armament removed while retaining some of her secondary battery. Reclassified as a gunnery training and accommodation ship in 1931, Iron Duke continued to serve in this capacity and was anchored for much of the time at Portsmouth and Scapa Flow. During the early stages of the Second World War, she functioned as a base and depot ship, but on October 17, 1939, German bombers attacked Scapa Flow and hit her with several bombs, causing flooding and damage that forced her to be beached in shallower water to prevent sinking. Though repaired enough to continue as a stationary hulk, she never sailed again. After the war ended, Iron Duke was finally paid off and sold for scrap in 1946. She was broken up at Foss Lane, marking the end of a service life that had spanned over 3 decades and 2 world wars. HMS Iron Duke not only embodied the peak of British dreadnought design prior to the advent of the Queen Elizabeth class but also served as the last flagship of Britain's most powerful battle fleet, a symbol of the Royal Navy's might during the era when battleships were still the supreme measure of maritime power.